Greetings, family. Greetings, and welcome to the Art of Rising. We're here giving you the code that you need for your daily life. And this one here is the aftermath of the Purely Holistic Soul Expo. And I'm here with another great brother. We was in it. Wow, we was in deep here. Brother
Yeah.
Cameron, thank you. Thank you for
Good.
coming on, man.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
you.
having me back, brother. Thank you.
Of course. So you already know. This is about the day, how it went down, the before, the during, the after. Let's hear it, man.
Oh man, it was beautiful, and so one thing, big shout out to you. And it was great to see your work in action because you and I, like, it's funny, we got to speak all of maybe 10 minutes the whole expo, you and I, right? But there's something about doing events like this when being in the space with other healers, and we don't always get to connect on a physical, but energetically, you know what I mean? Like, we're all in there holding space and doing our work. Every now and then I look over, I see the brother, I'm sure you seen me when I was doing my work, you know what I mean? But it's so beautiful. And just the vibration, y'all were there with the didgeridoo. And then every time someone, what were you saying when the people came out of the water?
Oh man, I was pushing them, putting them through the affirmations, as they were in the water. Like, I am enough, I am powerful, I am eternal, I have access to unlimited resources. Like, just that and that, and then when they come out, it's like a party. 2 minutes,
Yeah, whatever that is. I kept hearing that from across the room, and then you hear the shaking, people cheering,
Yeah.
As far as I know, I don't know if anyone pulled out before time. It seemed like everybody stayed in there for the whole time, right?
There was 2 brothers that did, but believe it or not, bro, they came back in. Like, they couldn't do it, and they were like, "Oh no, I'm doing this," and they came back in, and I coached them through it, bro, and they did it.
That's beautiful. It was a fantastic event. I mean, just seeing all the family and their melanated folks in there, and just loving on each other. In the end of the day, there's so much love in that space, and there's something to be said about that. I feel like we don't get to see enough of that in enough places. So to have it in there, and just the response. I mean, so many people that came to me were in awe of the ice plunge. So that was cool for me to get that type of feedback. I don't know if any of my clients went into the oh yeah, one of them. No, it was a sister that I know, and she actually came there for the ice plunge. So we were talking for a minute as I was getting ready. She said, "Oh, let me go. I'm about to go do my plunge."
And
I didn't see her again till the end of the expo.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was a huge shout out to Sister Monique from Nicholas, Brooklyn, and Kafunya also, because I know those were the 2 major players that put all of that together, man. Lot of work. Woo! Lot of work.
Shout out to them. Shout out to Monique. Shout out to Sister Kafunya. It was, oh man. And they make it look easy in the end of the day.
Yeah. They make it look easy, man. But with all that energy that you spoke about, that good energy that everybody was sharing there, I'm normally just like a high energetic person. It's the water, it's my lifestyle, like it's the food that I eat and my practices and stuff like that. But there I am, like high energy, people coming in, and I'm telling them, welcome home. They're looking at me like, who's this guy walking home? They were like, oh, I kind of like that. Yeah, I feel good here. Like, This is the vibe we got here. Come on in. Come in. We're doing breath and ice over here, or go around. Got the elderberry over there. Got everything.
Right.
So many things there.
Right. Oh yeah. And what did you call your drink? What's the drink that you had with the ginger?
The firecracker. Yeah, it's the proprietary blend. Yeah.
Gosh,
It's all organic, freshly squeezed ginger, turmeric, apple cider vinegar, lemon, honey, and cayenne pepper.
That was beautiful. I got a little shot of that. Like, I could drink that every day.
Yep. I do. It's better than coffee, man. Wake you right up.
Right?
Yeah. But tell me about the people that you were ministering to there. Tell us, what was their experience and their aches or their complaints or their, I don't know. Tell
You
us.
know, in an environment like that, especially when it's dealing with our people, folks really know, they get the physical and energetic work. Like, I don't really have to explain too much to them. You know, I said, "You want some energy work too?" "Oh, yeah, everything, brother," you know? And we go right in, and we go right in with the breathing, the massage, the energy's just flowing. And I had a few, at least a few people who had, you know, little emotional releases. I had this one sister, she said, "I can do 5 minutes." She wanted like 2 minutes or something like that. I said, "Okay, I get."
Wow. Yeah,
Oh,
all
she was
right.
going through some stuff, and to what, you know, she says 2 minutes. I'm gonna give her like 5 to 10 minutes.
That's
Because for me, it's
beautiful.
not just about the money, it's the energy exchange, you know?
Right,
She
right.
really wanted that 2 minutes or whatever it was she wanted, so I made sure to take care of her. It wasn't a long session, but, you know, she was tearing up a little bit afterwards, and she said, you know, "I don't wanna cry in this space," which is understandable, you know? So
Yeah, there was like 150 people there.
you know what I mean? Like, you don't know anybody in here. Okay, I understand.
Right.
But I hope you go home and release, you know? And
Right,
so,
right.
and that's the type of the regular type of response I get, especially when people are moving through stuff. This is what I tell my clients. A lot of times when people find me, it's because they're going through a transformation, or they need to have some energy cleared up. And like, there's some people, like, I've had worked at different places, then people have just looked me up. I don't even know how they found me, but they found me. You know, they type in my name, they don't even know my last name, but somehow
Mhm,
find me. And you know, and a lot of the time they're in that transformational point or transition in their life.
mm.
And for these people, like, you know, there's a lot of light workers out there who don't know that they're light workers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so those are the people that come to me. And as an energy conductor, you know, like, I think I said this before, it's a conductor like a lightning rod, but it's also conductor like a conductor on the high seas, you know, or like the ferry to get you across the river.
Mhm,
And so that's kind of the role that I play with these clients and with these people, where I get to ferry them across the river. And it's like, okay,
mm,
we're gonna go on this little journey. It might be bumpy, but I'm gonna get you to the other side.
mm,
Then from there, you can kind of go deeper into your energetic work. So I had a
mhm.
bunch of people like that coming to me, and it was, you know, a really beautiful experience. I love the work that I do, and that's a big reason for it.
Right. Well, I'm glad you bring that up. Why don't you, yeah, go through that a bit there. Tell us, what is it that you do and your calling and the process and performing and those things.
Okay, thanks for that, brother.
Of course.
So it's massage therapy, but I always say that massage for me is a vehicle for energy work, because
Mm,
as you and I said before, it's all energy work.
mhm,
And we people get tend to have so much trauma and drama and emotions trapped in the body, and don't know how to release it necessarily. And it's for a lot of different reasons, whether societal norms, whether, oh, I put it like this, right? So many people are in a prolonged state of fight or flight. And fight or flight, that's the sympathetic nervous system. So, you know, fight, you're ready all the time. And fight or flight is appropriate in certain instances if you're gonna fight or if you're gonna flee. But if
mhm,
you're sitting in the office and you're stressed out and you're in fight or flight, your boss is getting on you. You can't punch your boss in the face.
mhm.
You can't run out of the office screaming.
Mm,
And so people sit there and they take it and they internalize it. And it goes into their tissues, it goes into their muscles, it goes into their organs, it goes into their organ systems, their tissue systems, their nervous system, and it gets stored in there. And then they come to me and they say, "Oh, I want to get an hour massage." Well, my 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 real loyal clients know that we're doing a 2-hour session. It's not going to be an hour. An hour is just for my 2-hour clients, we take the first hour just to bring them off of that ledge, just to calm down their nervous system, just to start to move them into parasympathetic, which is rest and repair. And once they're in parasympathetic, then we can start to go into the tissues, because I really came to the conclusion there's no point I could go deep. Like I could push down through somebody's back down into the table. And there's some people who be like, go deeper. Like, go deeper. I call them pain chasers. And, folks like that, they're going through a lot. And I'm not going to be the one to go that deep on somebody, because that's not what they need. At that point, they need to cry. They need to scream. They need to hug themselves, and there's different ways to do it. They could put their face in a pillow and scream. They could go into a bathtub and scream. They could go to a what do you call one of the break rooms, the bash room.
Right.
Like, this is what I tell them. I find diplomatic ways to tell them that they need therapy, because that's what it is. And it's funny because I can always tell somebody who goes to therapy too, because of the way I'm able to interact with their body. And so the work that I do, it's a constant dance between this, but ultimately what I do is bring people to the next point. Like I always say, like when I'm working on them, I'm opening up the gates, but it's their responsibility to keep the gate open. That means we can loosen it up. Sometimes you might have a little emotional release on the table, but go home and stretch, soak in some Epsom salt. And if you're a medicine man and woman like yourself, right? Throw some other stuff in that bath water. You might have some herbs,
right? Yeah. Something. Do something.
Right. Do something. Throw something else in there. And so that's like in a nutshell what I do. I bring people to the other side of the river, hopefully. There's some people who just want to come to me and they, want to get banged up for a month and then come back and see me and have me fix them. They fix me, Karen. I can't fix you. I'll try. But at the very best, at the very least, I can sit on this boat and go over this rocky river with you and get you to the other side.
Right.
And then hopefully you take some of my recommendations into consideration.
Yeah, it makes me think of it's really up to us. Ultimately, it's always us. It's always inside, right? It's always the kingdom of heaven, right?
Right, it's within.
It even said it, and they're just trying to. Many scriptures, in different belief systems, tell you it's inside. It's you. Like look inside. Everything that you need, it's right in there. It's outside. I believe that all humans are together to help one another. I believe that's why we're here, is to help one another. Sure. But it's ultimately up to us. It's like that old story about bringing the horse to the river. You could bring him there, but he's got to drink it now. You can't make him drink it.
Right.
So you are the CEO of A.R.M.E.W, A.R.M.E.W, right?
Yes, sir.
And tell us a little bit about that, the Axial Release.
Right. Axial Release Massage and Energy Works. So that's what A.R.M.E.W stands for. And Axial Release, that's what I've coined the type of massage that I do and the type of work that I do. Axial Release. And it focuses on the axial skeleton, which is the skull, it's the spine, it's the rib cage. That's the axial skeleton. And I found that the axial skeleton, it houses the central nervous system. And so it kind of just became apparent to me. I said, okay, let me really focus on the central nervous system. So these same clients I tell you about, the pain chasers, the people who just want me to go deep, they want me to, go through their back. They want me to stretch them out like Gumby, like it's real. Like I have them deep in the stretch, deeper. Like I should go deeper.
There is no find some.
Right. And so I learned over time that the it's not their body. Like this is, the peripheral skeleton, if you want to call it that. Like that's not what's affected. You get, as a massage therapist, and many of my fellow therapists will know that you get down into a certain point to someone's body and they're holding on so tightly that these are emotions. And for their core or their center to be so tight, it's like this is way beyond the massage, what we're dealing with right here. Like I said, you need to go break something. You need to go talk to somebody. You need to go cry or something like that. But yeah, something. It's like a rope that's wound up. If you ever just tied up a rope really tight and you can't twist it anymore, that's what people's bodies are like, literally. And as an empath, it's wild. This is just coming to me as an empath, because I'm empathic, and so I've learned to put a distance between myself and clients and their energy for my self-preservation. But if I were to really go into their energy, like I couldn't do this work because there's so much pain and torment that people are going through. And yeah, brother, right. And so I found, my own, if you want to call them coping mechanisms or devices, so that I don't get too drawn into that. Like I can say, okay, no, this person has something deep. I don't need to know what they're going through necessarily. I mean, if they want to talk, I'm open, I can listen, and I can release it after the session. But that's an acquired tool. It's not just, I didn't just come out the womb able, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to learn that through this process of doing this work. But people are really holding on to some stuff. And once they're able to move through that and alchemize it, transmute it, because there's no just getting over certain things, whatever it is. It could be something work related, or it could be some childhood trauma and everything in between, any type of thing. And so once people are able to alchemize that, move through that, then they're able to really tap into their medicine. And it doesn't mean just getting over it, but it's releasing it from their body, releasing the not tormenting and torturing themselves. Because I started reading the 4 Agreements.
Good. Excellent.
I'm gonna read this book before I speak. So I'm on the first agreement right now, and he talks about how we're basically in hell, to a certain extent, and the hell that we're in is imposed by society, by our parents, by friends, family, frenemies, the media, everybody, and everything that we take on into ourselves is an agreement, right? And so I mean, people are walking around here with these agreements that they don't even know that they've agreed on, and that's shaping their outlook on life and reality. Pressures that we all put ourselves through, unnecessary pressures. And so that's what that's what I'm dealing with people. That's what I'm working on. And so the axial release is just, it's like, okay, we're going to focus on the central nervous system, because the central nervous system, that's also where we have that's where the energy centers, like the chakra systems, are housed. And I could go all the way into the chakras, but it's like, if there's this great book, what is it? I think it's I don't have it up right now. But it's called Energy Medicine. Maybe I'll see if I can pull it up before this interview's over and find the title. But basically, in it shows that the different energy centers, shows the chakra system, organs, all this other stuff. But when you see, like, every chakra is in line with an organ system, a junction of blood vessels, and a junction or a bundle of nerves. And so you have these vortexes, these physical vortexes that are in the body, that it's not just some hocus pocus stuff. It's not some, whatever people want to call it. It's not some spooky stuff. Like, it's very practical and scientific that we have these energy centers, because the blood circulates, Electricity circulates through the nervous system, and not just electricity, but melanin, increases the junction between the nerves at the synapses. It makes things move faster and quicker, all these different things. So if you have now two vortexes that are right here, polarized blood and then electricity, like what's that do? That's like electromagnetism in your body. So when the ancients said that we have these wheels of energy called the chakras, they weren't far off at all, because science tells us that that's what's actually there. So all this stuff is housed in the central nervous system, and it's housed in the axial skeleton, right? Because we're talking about the skull, the spine, and the torso. That's where it's all at. That's where our organs are at. I mean, I know I have colleagues who do visceral manipulation, where they go in and they massage the organs. I can do a little of that, but that's not my specialty right now. That's a whole other, thing to learn. But I can do abdominal massage. But I know that going into the organs, now you're releasing specific emotions and specific toxins. That's why we do the, one of the benefits of Qigong and yoga and the breathing, any type of breathing exercise. Once we fine tune it, we're moving sediment out of the organs. When we move sediment out of the organs, then when we have sediment in the organs, then it causes us to age faster because of all the toxins. And they could say that the chi that gets stagnated in these organs, it turns into fire. And that's not the type of fire that we want in our bodies. And so that sediment causes fire to basically burn up our life force or burn up our essence. So doing these breathing exercises, we're moving these sediments out of our organs and our organ systems, and it's allowing the chi to flow smoothly, and it's allowing us to really gain the benefit of those breathing exercises. So, again, that's the central nervous system. That's the axial skeleton. That's this right here. And so that's what I'm focusing on with people, just loosening up that area and giving them just a little leg room so that they could stretch their own legs out, so that they can go and, clear up their mind a little. I mean, bro, think about the gut, right? There's a whole other brain, if you want to call it that, in the gut. We have nerve endings, a whole bunch of nerves in the brain, in the head, right? But then we have them in our heart and in our gut. Probably as much. So those are centers where people can essentially be controlled from these areas. The gut, talk about the gut, right? That's the foods that we eat. That's the parasites that are in there. We got the parasites that are talking into our stomach like a microphone. Nah, man, go get some. Nah, don't eat that kale. Over there, get some McDonald's. Nah, yeah, we want some McDonald's. You said, I want McDonald's. You don't want McDonald's. The parasites want McDonald's.
Oh, it's crazy. I always think of my old man. He would always bring that up to my attention, on how people, when they speak, they always go, man, I hate his guts. Why they say that? They should say, like, I hate his feet, or I hate his ears. Like, why do they say guts? Right? Because it has to do with our gut. They know that the importance of it, right? That scientists have already found a brain-like cells exactly right in our gut too. And women are more connected there too, right? Because women feel it deeply. They go, oh, you seen somebody, I know it. What, man, get out of here. She's like, I have to feel it, like, it's crazy. And they be right on too.
Be right on.
Yeah, but we get it too. Like, you ever step in a room and then you feel it right there in your gut, your dantian right there. You go, oh, I shouldn't be here. This is not something. So yeah. But thank you so much for that information. It's priceless. People should know about the energies, and there's so many avenues you could go with that, right? Because as myself too, I've helped people on an energetic level, and there was this woman who was suffering at the time, because her son had passed. Her younger son had passed from sickness, cancer, and she was devastated naturally. But some time had already went by, and they had pulled me in to do a ceremony. You know, it was like there was a lot of doors that were still open with different family members, and there was, you know, some disagreements, and I was there doing the meetings, like setting this ceremony up, like they're looking at me, you know, and I'm trying to, you know, help them, and maybe we should do this, and I don't know about that, and then we could do this, and maybe we should ease into a little something. And I kid you not, brother, I would come home and be like physically drained, bro. I would just come home, see my wife, and collapse on the kitchen floor, and she would start smudging me and moving energy and all that. And I was like, oh no, I gotta learn how to, you know, yeah, you're right. When it's a two, you just don't get out the womb with that one. Oh no. Like you have to learn that too, like to separate yourself, put up some defenses, you know. Yeah, it's serious, bro. Yeah.
It's serious, and I always tell people it's funny because I can do, 8 massages a day. I'm okay. But
Mhm.
energy work really takes it out. Like I have to be so careful how I'm doing my energy work. Energy
Mhm.
work takes more out of me than doing
Yeah,
just regular
yeah,
massage.
yeah, yeah.
And it probably is helpful to me that I'm coupling the two because
Mhm.
it's not just energy. It's like it's physical and it's energy. So there's a kind of a yin and yang thing. I'm just thinking of this as we're talking right now, but
Mhm.
it's so true. Like doing pure energy work is really can be really taxing. It
Mhm.
can be. Like I know
Mhm.
what you're talking about, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
It's serious.
You know, my wife, she's really, really devoted to pranic healing. And the little bit I could tell you about pranic is you usually go to a Reiki master to get your chakra wheels right. But pranic healing, it's cleaning the wheels deeply inside. It's deep work, bro.
Yeah.
So here she is, you know, she's super devoted, learning all these things, you know, people coming over, she's helping people, like miraculous stuff, bro. If I
Mm,
tell you some of these things, I'm sure people listening, they will be like, man, get out of here, bro. Yeah, right. But it's been like that, bro. Miraculous. I
mm,
kid you not, right?
mhm.
So here she is saying, okay, well, this is the energetic exchange, right? Because there has to be some energetic exchange, you know?
Right.
And then, you know, naturally people are always trying to wiggle those out of that, right?
Mm.
But at the Louis Vuitton store, they never wiggle out of there, right? When they're
Right,
when they're
right.
buying that, right? No, when
They
they're
don't
buying the
even bargain. They
iPhone,
don't even
they don't even
haggle
bargain, they
with
don't
them.
even haggle. They just right throw the card on the table, the cash,
Mhm.
right? But
Right.
here for this, they're like, I don't know that. Fine. So here she is helping people. And then she's like, you know, moving the energy exchange lower and like that. But with all the work and we're talking about the energy draining and all that,
Mhm.
she's like, oh no, no, I'm not. No, it's too much. It's
Mhm.
too much. It's too much. It's too much, bro. It's too,
Mhm. Yeah, it
it's
is.
too much. So my hat comes off to you, brother. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Yeah.
So we
Like
also do breath work too, and that
mhm.
taps into the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, the fight or
Mhm.
flight. That's what we're doing, right? Because the frontal lobe here is the one that helps you to navigate this realm. You know,
Mhm.
make all the decisions that you want, and it's the security system. You know, watch out, be careful, and you know. But then it's on overdrive. Oh, don't write that book. Don't start the business. Well, you know,
Right.
don't buy the house either. Oh, what if you lose your money? Like, and then you stuck in the
Mhm.
same job, doing the same thing, in the same apartment, the same, you know, every same relationship, and you hate it, it sucks and all that, but you're still there, right?
Mm.
But with the breath work, it taps into the deeper parts. Some people call it like the reptilian, you know, the deeper
Right.
parts, and
Right.
that's tapping into the sympathetic. The sympathetic is the one where when you cross the street and a fast car is coming, your eyes dilate, right?
Right.
And the
Right.
chemicals pump through your muscles and you get out of the way. And
With
the
the
same
adrenaline.
with adrenaline or the cortisol, all of that. It's like right
Mhm.
away, it gets you out of the way. It's the security system, right? For that type of thing.
Right.
But then the parasympathetic, we call it the feed and breed, right? Eat
Mm.
food, relax, have sex, make love, meditate. You know,
Mhm.
that's what you spoke about earlier. You know, the parasympathetic, because you say you work there, correct?
Yes, correct, correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm glad you gave those descriptions too, because exactly. So what you're talking about, the eyes dilated, the adrenals, the blood pumping, the muscles tense. That's what think about all these people that are doing jobs that they hate,
Mhm.
but have to do it anyway, and they're just
Yeah, walking around like that all day.
all day. And then I mean,
Yeah.
and they don't stop, you know. So you know what I learned? This is my opinion, right? I feel like salary is the new slavery. Salary is the new slavery. I ask people, oh, okay. I don't even ask them how much they're making. But when do you get off of work? And they laugh at me. They're answering emails and all kind of stuff at 9, 10 o'clock at night. Like, really? You're gonna leave this massage and then go and do more work. Well, I have to do more work. Do you have to? None of my business. I don't know what you do for a job. Maybe you do have to, but there has to be a level of boundaries. And because people are getting this salary, it's not a 9 to 5. They don't punch out at 5 o'clock and they're done for the day. There's no punch in, punch out. All day, all night until they go to sleep, and then they wake up and do it over again. I met one group of people. I'm not even going to say where they were at.
All right.
This is a group of people. I was doing a corporate event. These folks told me that they are working 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day. These are people in New York City right now whose job they are working 16 hours a day. And yes, they're getting overtime, but when do they get to enjoy any of that money? They're going home 16 hours.
Yeah.
8 hours to get home, sleep, and then be back at work.
Yeah.
That's no way to live. And their bodies, brother, their bodies, they need a hug.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, even where I live in North Bergen, New Jersey, but there's some other more nicer, ritzy, you know, it's quiet where we live, but the more you go up north, you know, the Fort Lee, and you just go up a little bit more north further, it's quiet. Houses are more separate. There's no electrical lines like in the street. That's another thing people should notice, right? Always in the hood, they always have the electrical, right? Why they don't put them in the ground? They don't got that in the nice neighborhoods, right? They leave them out. They leave it. Think about that. But anyway, you go to these beautiful neighborhoods, man. Oh, pristine, manicured lawn, everything. Nobody's around, bro. Nobody. You don't see anybody around there. Why? They're working, bro. That's why. They don't even enjoy the beautiful house that they live in.
Right. Sad. Nope. And now that we've had this remote working thing, I won't go too deep into it, the whole 2020 fiasco.
Okay.
But the whole remote working thing, now they have people are really working from home now. The infrastructure's been set up for people. It's okay. I'm not going in today, but that means I'm working longer hours now. I'm sitting in the same position for longer. I can't enjoy my wife. I can't enjoy my children. I can't enjoy, you know,
outside. You can't go shopping. Maybe you seen a shirt you liked or a carpet you want to buy, maybe passing it. No. Get to work. And then lunch hour? No. You're home. No.
Lunch hour.
There's no.
People eating at their desks.
Yeah. You're home. Yeah. I know. It's
and
terrible.
I want to bring it back to the parasympathetic. So, and this is why I'm glad that you brought up the descriptions, right? So that's the sympathetic, the eyes dilate and all that. Parasympathetic, like you said, you're talking about rest, digestion. These are things, your digestive fluids are being secreted as, you know, when you're in parasympathetic, which means if someone's not in that state, never reaches that state, their body's technically not repairing itself. They're not digesting their food. So they're not getting whatever nutrients. And if they're eating nutritious food, which they're probably not, they're probably eating a bunch of junk. So how much nutrient, you know, like oh man, I can't remember the exact terminology, but it's like the metabolic load. Like, what's their metabolic rate? What's the load that's being put on their cells and their digestive system and their immune system? Because in order for those systems to function properly, we have to be in the parasympathetic state. Or I would say a majority of the day. Fight or flight, again, is for fighting. If you got to fight somebody, or if you got to run from something, you know?
Right.
I use this example, the birds, right? I don't know if I said this on the last show, but you see the birds, they're sitting there on the ground. They're happy. They're eating. They're chilling with the squirrels. And then let's say something comes by, a dog comes by, a pit bull runs through. What happens? They fly up into the tree. But then what do? They go back. Once the danger's gone, they go back to eating, chilling with the squirrels, chatting.
Right.
Dave, right?
Right. Yeah.
That adrenaline has been cycled through their blood, and now it gets reabsorbed into their bodies, and they're no longer in that state. They go back to
Yeah.
the rest and repair, to the
Yeah. Yeah.
parasympathetic, till danger shows its face
That's a
again.
beautiful, beautiful example.
We don't get to do that. Humans in this society don't get to do that. So all the digestion, like brother, and then the blue screens from the phones, like people go from these high stress situations and then can't sleep, and then take sleeping medication, and then like, is your Wi-Fi on? You know,
Yeah.
are you
Vicious.
going
No,
straight?
no, they sleep with the phone in the bed.
So they're going straight from this to this.
Yeah, to
to
that,
this.
and then when they wake up, right up back on. Oh man, it's vicious.
So they're not even getting the opportunity for their body to go into parasympathetic and wonder why they have all these issues.
Right, right. There's a wonderful book that you made me think of by Eckhart Tolle. It's either The Power of Now or The New Earth, which I really like that one, The New Earth. But in any case, he talks about, if you look at ducks on the pond, you know, when two of them meet each other, they let out this energy like the feathers, and then they just go back and then they float away nice and calm, right?
I've seen
That's
it. Yeah.
But not us, not humans, right? We took a man. You believe what this guy told me, man? I can't believe what they disrespectful. When was that? Oh man, that was like 2 months ago. 2 months ago, you're still walking around with that. I mean, so he talks about that. Humans are probably the only species on the planet that does that to itself, man. Just terrible.
What do we say over here? I think it's spread to the country, but what do we say over here? Man, it got me tight. That shit just got me tight right there.
Yeah,
it got you tight. You all like, you all know
loosen up. No, it's vicious. It's vicious. They'd be like, oh, what are they? You know, it's in the language, right? You know, oh, have a good week, right? You know, something like that. It's in the good morning, you know, stuff like that. But even in some of the things we say, like, oh, how you doing? I can't complain. Ooh. Why would you complain, bro? Like, what is there to complain about? And you know what? Nobody gives a shit.
Right. The 4 agreements, right?
Your word's impeccable, man. Oh man. Yep, it's vicious. It's vicious. Right. But thank God that we have, you know, places like the Purely Holistic Soul Expo that we had, and I just want to get back to that, man, because it's all that information is beautiful, and you know, we all fall prey. You know, there's no judgment here. I just want to say that too, because I fall into it too. I start, you know, posting things on the social. Oh yeah, it's, you know, for the business so people can find me. Now I'm scrolling. I'm watching the old boxing matches. You know, Sugar Ray, Ali. I'm like, what are they? Those are old boxing. It's like they got me. They got me in like 10 minutes. I'm scrolling. Like, oh man. Oh, yeah. But the Purely Holistic Soul Expo, it was the first of its kind that I know of. Right. That's what they told me. Or Nicholas Brooklyn. And you know, the feedback that I got, I did want to say before I forget that someone came to me that saw you and had rave reviews, bro. They were saying that you were touching them and moving them with your elbow, their arm. They didn't even know. At some point, she went, I don't know what he was doing with me. I don't know how he was pressing me with his knee, with his ankles. She was like, I don't know, but it was amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you saw the man. You know what I was doing.
Yeah. I was taking notes. Trust me. Trust.
Thank you.
Know, there was a lot of people there. I had some amazing food. I ate some food from the sister that was there right next to me at the food table there. I told her, what's this? And she said, oh, this is some Picasso thing with it. I was like, wow, it's good, man. She had the sauces and oh my God, everything. The food was amazing.
I missed the food. I saw it. I didn't get a minute, brother. Like from the time it started, it was
gone.
Like
the end. I know.
The first person hit my chair. It was
I know. There were so many vendors there. They were all out into the hallway. It was incredible. There was laundry detergent, you know, that was safe for the environment. To wash your vegetables and foods. The brother made his own thing. There was Dr. Mission. He was one of the brothers that got into the ice too. He's well known. I saw his following on Instagram, he's like 67,000 people are following him, bro. It's like, wow, that's what's up. I know. And I talked to some other brothers too, and they were like, "Oh, I know him, Dr. Mission. Yeah, he's good stuff. Yep."
Well,
He's
you brought up a good point that there is a real hunger for this medicine. And when I say this medicine, I'm talking about us collectively, what we're doing. There's a hunger for it, and there's a hunger among our people for it. And if we were to watch the TV and get our information from the TV, we would never know it. But there is, and it's not an underground thing. I think it's more of a mainstream thing.
Oh, yeah.
Until we really are controlling our media and we're ingesting and digesting our own media, we're not going to know how widespread it is.
Right. And then making things like this.
Yes.
Like, as you could see, I tell you this, I can clearly see the potential here. This particular event will be in the Jacob Javits Center and all of those major, venues in Manhattan, bro. It's going to be huge, bro. You see? But it takes a lot of work. You see? It's there already. It just takes work. So for me, I'm doing my part. That's why you see me here. I'm putting in my time in the podcast so we could talk and social media and all that. Let people know, man. Let's go, bro. Let's go. We're here.
Yeah, we're here. And just like you said, the energy, it's already taken on a life of its own. And that's a thing. And I'm sure you've had this experience, I would think. Let me not assume, right? But I would think you've had the experience, like you create something and then you don't even know how it impacts the people that it's serving and how, and it just takes on a life of its own. Now people are speaking your name or your business or this, out of their mouths, and it has its own identity to each individual person. That's what just happened, and like this was the first one, brother. This is the first one. We're trying to do several a year.
Right.
Wow.
Easy. I could see it, bro. Like, I had another brother ask me too, like, really? What do you see that you could see it in like a Jacob Javits Center or something like that? I'm like, the amount of people alone that showed up, bro. There must have been, I don't know what the numbers are, but it must have been at least 150 people more, bro.
Right.
More.
And it snowed on that day.
It was freezing.
It was freezing. Right? It was freezing.
Yeah, it was freezing.
And we got a little bit of a storm, and we got word that there was going to be a blizzard and all that stuff. Still came out. People came just for the record. People came from Pennsylvania, from what I heard. Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Philly, that's Pennsylvania, Chicago. I think the Carolinas.
Wow.
People came out for this event, brother.
Wow. People came through and it was freezing and weather was bad and they still got into the ice and oh man, it was crazy. In the beginning, I was like, I don't know, let's see, but then like it was just the one, she broke the ice, she got in, and then the second one, the third, and the fourth, and my man was like, I was like, come on, you doing it? I know I should. He knew it, he felt it. And that's it. Took off his jeans. He was there in his boxes. Got in, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing, brothers. They would. I was watching people. I was like, I don't think he came thinking that he was gonna jump in the ice ball. You saw brothers in there, long johns in there.
Yeah.
I saw a couple brothers. Like, I know you didn't come ready for that. You didn't come thinking you were going in the ice.
No. But once they saw it, man, then they were with deep gratitude. Thank you so much, bro. And they still calling me, hitting me up, texting me, when's the next one? Let's go. Like, that changed my life, bro. I felt it. Yeah. It was real.
There was one brother who came by. I'm familiar with him from Nicholas. And he walked by. I say, hey, brother, I saw you in the ice, man. You could just see like the pride and the strength that was exuding from the brother. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I went in that ice, brother. Yes, you saw me in that ice.
Yep. Loving it. Loving it, loving it. It
Yeah,
was great. And then the amount of vendors that were there too. Wow. They were all up the hallway, past the elevator, past the bathroom, all the way to the back, like to the wall.
brother.
Whoa, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. So
really came
yeah,
out for this event.
that's it. It was beautiful. Purely Holistic Soul Expo.
Hmm.
Huge shout out to Monique and Kafunya and all the um volunteers too. There was many volunteers that helped out. So huge shout out to them. Keep
Yeah.
up the great work. We deeply appreciate you. Couldn't have did it without you.
Hmm.
There was so many things, man. So many things. I loved it, bro. And then the DJ.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
let's get on the DJ. The DJ Hassan Shabazz. Big time.
Big
Ooh-wee.
time.
Yeah.
Big
He
time.
was great. He was great. He put on some of that house music, Black Coffee, and
Yeah.
all the big house music. Yeah. He put some R&B on and some nine. Then you notice he was putting in that healing music, some
Yeah.
high vibrational music. And I
Yes.
was like, who's playing that? But I said, he put on the for the ice plunge. I was like,
Yes.
wow,
Right.
bro.
That's what was tripping me out because
Wow.
I was like, one minute you hear some house music, next minute it's
Yeah, yep,
I'm
yep.
like, is that coming from Brother Omar? I was like, God.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
But
yep.
then I'm in my zone doing my massage.
Mhm,
So it's like
mhm.
it's a that song, the Outcast song, Sporty Odie Dopalicious.
Yeah, yeah.
He said all blends perfectly. I let the music tell it. You got this going on here, that going on there, and it's
Exactly.
just and the
Yep, yep,
didgeridoo,
yep.
and then
Yep. Oh man, that was brother Evan. Shout out to him too,
yes,
bro.
brother
Evan, you could
Evan.
Evan's World or something. You can find him online. He's on the Instagram too. He does quite a bit of traveling. But I showed up with my didgeridoo just in case, right? I said, let me just bring it. I don't know. Maybe I
Right,
can use
right.
it there. I don't know. Because this is all new environment. I don't people gonna lay down or what? I don't know. But I said, let me bring it. And then I see this brother, he's with one too. I was like, oh, that's what's up. We started talking and all that. And he tells me that the didgeridoo that he walks with, it was hollowed out by the ones that eat the wood, those termites. It
Oh, the
was
termites.
termites had hollowed out this special wood, bro. And then he designed it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has the breath. It's called the breath that you do with the didgeridoo. You keep making the drone sound without stopping. It's
Yeah.
quite a skill. He teaches that, bro. He's a teacher, bro. Yeah, he teaches qigong and all that too, but he specializes in the didgeridoo and humble too. He didn't come in like, man, let me show you.
Right.
No, very humble, humble. Somebody put the mic on the chair, and we both started doing
Yes.
the didgeridoo.
I hope someone got a video of that because that was because when I'm working, my eyes are closed a lot of the time, but
Mhm.
it's like, oh man, I can't even describe it, but it's like I
Yeah,
close my eyes and I open my eyes, I see the two brothers sitting there with the didgeridoos, and I close
yeah,
my eyes and I'm just vibing. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope someone
yeah,
got a video of that.
yeah. Me
That was
too.
such a
Yeah.
powerful thing to open up my eyes and then to see
Mhm.
you too,
Mhm.
because again, like all this stuff is going on. Like your
Mhm.
senses are almost playing tricks on you.
Mhm.
Like, brother, if I
Mhm.
could describe this right, it's almost like, it's like Maya or the illusion is being all shaken up
Mhm. The
because you
veil. The
can't
veil.
trust. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You can't trust any. What'd you call it?
The veil. It lifts the
Yes,
veil. Like yeah, yeah.
because
The separation between.
you can't
Mhm.
trust any part of your
Yeah,
senses. You can't
yeah.
trust any one sense at any time in that
Mm.
space. And I think that speaks to just the power of the energy that's being created and move around. Again, like
Mhm.
I don't even realize my eyes are closed, and then I open my eyes and I see you two standing. Like, how did that
Mhm.
happen? When
Yeah.
did that? There's two brothers with the didgeridoo now. Oh, let me go back into my world and massage this person and
Yeah, yeah.
feel what's going on, and then the
Right.
sounds and then the DJ.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
insane. It's like
Yep.
like
It's crazy that you say that too, because the didgeridoo is an aboriginal technological instrument. That's really what it is. It's technology that's happening there. It works with vibration. If you know anything about vibrations, the pyramids that you see, those places in Kemet, they were built with vibration, lots of them moving those heavy stones. They already know, the governments are working on it. But anyway,
Right,
uh,
right.
but the didgeridoo, it brings you into the dream world, into the dream time. That's how the Australians say it. It's the dream time. So it's that key almost to bring you into that realm. So it's funny that you should say that you feel like, hey, am I here, am I there, like, because that's what that sound does. It brings you there. But in addition to that, the didgeridoo works to heal your bones. It works on bones. That's what didgeridoo does. Yeah.
Because you did say that it's so funny. I swear oh man, because one of my shaman friends just hit me the other day, and she's really been on this thing about the bones, how the bones store memory, and she's just like, there's something to the bones basically that we're missing, or better yet, that we need to kind of take the microscope and look a little bit closer at the bones. And so now you're saying this, and just things are just clicking. Like, I'm gonna have to go off and meditate on this right now, because why is it that this instrument, which is the key to accessing these realms, also heals the bones? Why is it that in Qigong you have the marrow in the brain washing? That's something that you're breathing down into the bones, and you're moving out the sediment, making them, our blood, red blood cells, and our immune system basically is formed in the bones.
Fascinating. Plant medicine too, right? Many of them come with a detoxifying agent. Like, it not only heals your mind, your spirit, but your body too. There's a purging effect, right? It detoxifies your body.
Right.
How is that? It's ancient, brother. It's ancient, brother. It's ancient. That's where this the Purely Holistic Soul Expo comes in. Teaching people there's different ways. You don't have to take all these medications. I visited a family member some time ago, not too long ago, and no lie, bro, they had about like 12 or 15 bottles of medication on the kitchen table, bro. It was sad, bro. It was sad.
Right.
Every one that they throw in it, they take it. Take this one too. Oh, you feeling this? Take this one. Yeah, because it's because of that one. See, but they don't tell you that. But they go, don't worry, I got something for you. Yeah, and there they are. Oh, man.
You want to hear something funny? Because I have some family members like that too, right? Taking all type of medication, but then I bring home some soda, some one of those it's like almost like a kombucha, but it has like apple cider vinegar and it has little herbs in it. They're over there looking at this back of it. I never seen them read the label before, but you're gonna read the back of this soda. Do you read the back? Do you read the back of your Pepsi when you drink? Do you read the back of that bag of candy when you eat it?
Yeah. True.
Read this soda, okay.
Yep. All the medication. You can look it up online. It'll tell you that people have died from it. It'll ruin you in all sorts of ways, but they never look that up. No. They can't even pronounce it. They just take it.
No, they just take it. I had so I took a pharmacology one class, and the professor was an actual pharmacist, and he told us, I believe it was 2 weeks or 10 days. He said, you're not supposed to take any medication for more than 2 weeks. If you're on it for 2 weeks, brother. If you're on it for more than 2 weeks and it's not working, you don't need to be on it.
Man.
But somehow, in this society, we're under the propaganda, or they're under the propaganda that they need to be on this medication for life.
Yeah. It's crazy. They just stay steady on that medication. Yeah. Again, it's the Purely Holistic Soul Expo, man. Come through. The next one, that's it. Let's go. The next one, I think they're having it like springtime, or they want to have it, soon enough, but we'll see. I know that Monique, I'm learning a lot more things about Nicholas, Brooklyn, and how they have lots of events there. And once I started looking at her feed and seeing who's giving those talks over there, she's connected with some high level players, brother.
Powerhouses,
bro. I seen some of them, and I was like, That's my hero. And that guy too. And that one. Oh
Yeah,
man.
and you got to go back in the archives, pre-COVID. I'm talking like I would go back even to like 2010, 2011, because there was a point when they used to, they would do the knowledge brothers and sisters would be over at Long Island College at LIU, right, in Brooklyn. And then someone put the memo in, and then all that shifted over to Nicholas. So now you had those same players, those same heavy hitters coming over to Nicholas. So there's stuff in the archives going back now, 15 years probably, where, like you said, these heavy hitters have been going there. And then they moved from downtown Brooklyn to where they're at now in Bed-Stuy. And so now it's like, they're still there. And I'm glad you brought that up, because Nicholas has been an institution that has supported our people and our growth and committed themselves to that for 50 something years.
50 something years.
At least as long as hip hop has been around.
Oh,
at least as long.
Think about that. Think about it. Oh man, seeing the birth of hip hop and all that. Right. Let me tell you, when I tell some of the brothers they from Brooklyn and all that, I would tell them, I was down Flatbush. Oh, Nicholas, yeah, I know, man. I've been there plenty of time. I know that. Oh, what? Yeah. And then some of those guys who give the lectures, the workshops that are there. I've seen them in Hidden Colors, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Hidden Colors was great. People don't know Hidden Colors. Don't sleep on that. Go check it out. It's a 3-part, right?
It's 3 or 4 parts.
It's a 3 or 4 parts. Yeah. Like by the third one, they were losing me on some of the things they were saying, but that happens too.
Right.
Some guys were interjecting some. I'm not saying that it wasn't true.
Right.
They were saying they were snatching up color folks and getting their organs. And I'm not saying that that's not true, because chances are, bro, it is. But some of the information, like they were losing me a little bit there.
Right.
But the number one, the first one, oof.
The first one. And I always tell people, like, if for someone who, let's say they have questions, but they don't have, or they're coming into knowledge of self, give them Hidden Colors.
Right. Yeah.
Hidden Colors.
Just
a great introduction.
Great introduction.
Blow their mind.
Yep. Because a lot of that information was coming out like in the books. You've seen lots of them like outside on the street, right? With the table with all the knowledge books, knowledge. It was all right there. It was all there, but nobody want to read a book.
It's been there, and then they came with the knowledge DVDs. Right. They had the knowledge DVDs. Same thing. Some people go, okay, this is not a book, this is a DVD. I like the way this cover looks,
Yep.
Shout out to Brother Rich, Brother Rich. I used to get my DVDs. I used to, every payday, I would go and holler at Brother Rich, and he would just curate and just give me the DVD. He said, this is the one that I think this is the one you're going to like, brother. And, so it's like, but yeah, man, they've been in there.
The DVDs, I used to get like the CDs too, the audios, just hear them and taking all this knowledge. Like, man, I didn't know. And they were bringing facts. Oh, what's that guy's name? Oh man, he was a scholar too. I was trying to say his name another time too. He passed on. I'm gonna remember his name and try to put it in the show note. Henry Clark.
John Henry Clark. Yeah, John Henry
Clark. Oh, don't play around. Oh no, don't play. Don't play.
And these
that kid was.
And these elders were teaching at universities.
Yeah, I know. He read so much he went blind.
Yeah.
He went read. You read, just read.
A few of them went blind.
Yeah.
John Henry Clark, I think, was it
John Henry Clark? No, that guy was powerhouse, bro.
Yeah. What was the Chancellor Williams? I think he went blind too.
Yeah.
That was another one, like
knowledge. Ooh, they bring the receipts. They bring
the receipts.
Facts. You be thinking, right? It's facts, bro.
And Dr. Clark, he'd been studying since the 40s or something like that. 40s.
Yeah,
he was born in the early 1900s.
Yeah, there was a woman. Her name is Mimi Rosenberg. I used to work at a non-for-profit law firm, and she was one of the head attorneys there. But she also worked at WBAI. She still does. She has a show there. Mimi Rosenberg. Check her out. Okay. But yeah, she put me on a lot. She's the one who gave me that DVD about Henry Clark. Yeah, she knows the knowledge and lots of inside stuff and all that. Yep. And she's a Caucasian woman with the aqua blue eyes. Her eyes are so beautiful, bro. But she knows it. She knows the knowledge, bro. Yep. She was putting me on every time. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we're able to share this information, especially at the Purely Holistic Soul Expo. We're looking forward to the next one. I mean, we could keep talking, but we're hitting the hour now and don't want to keep you too long. And perhaps we can come back again, Brother Cameron, because I can see we have a lot to say.
We have a lot, brother. We have a lot. There's a lot to talk about. And, I want to thank you for bringing me on again. And just, it's always a pleasure talking with you. From the moment that the first time we spoke, I said, oh, yeah, this is my brother right here. It's my brother.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. I love it. I love to connect with people in a deep way. That's what the Omziel Healing Sanctuary is all about. And we are the Art of Rising. And, this podcast is just to help people to rise. It's an art form. It's an art form. You have to know how to do it and practice it every day. It's like calligraphy. It's like that. It has so much deep meaning into it. When you raise your vibration, your consciousness, expand it like that. We all need help, and we're here.
Right.
So, Brother Cameron, where can people find you, brother?
They can find me at A.R.M.E.W.com. That's A.R.M.E.W.com. They can find me at A.R.M.E.W. on Instagram. That's A.R.M.E.W. at Instagram. You can email me at Cameron@A.R.M.E.W.com. You can call me at 917-300-1957. It's 917-300-1957. A.R.M.E.W. I think that's everything. You can reach me.
That's what's up. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm sure people are going to reach out to you to pick your brain on some of that knowledge right there, bro, about the body and the cranium and all that, bro. I love it. Let's keep going, okay?
Here for it, brother. Thank you. I'm here for it.
Of course. Let's talk soon. I'm going to put you backstage for a minute and wrap up right here.
All right, great. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Brother Omar, for having this platform and doing what you do. Thank you and your wife and your institution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Peace, peace, peace. There you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Just recapping the Purely Holistic Soul Expo that happened February the 9th, 2025. That is the first of its kind, and many, many more to come. Thank you so much. Peace and love.